everybody, and welcome to the 16th week of Draw and Paint for Life. I'm so glad that you're here. We're going to be drawing noses this week, which are kind of weird when you start to look at them. Right here, nose. The color, burnt sienna, which is the perfect color to discuss the work of Georgia O'Keeffe, who was a great American painter. She passed away, gosh, I want to say she was like 98 when she died. Maybe she passed away 20 years ago. Her work is in the Art Institute of Chicago. If you can get your parents to take you there, have a look. She made a lot of really beautiful things, and I want to show you this. Isn't this amazing? This was the work of one of my students. See this little thing here? He got like paint on it. We tried to rinse it off. He wasn't happy with it. But look at this nose. Is that a nose? I want you to know that the work that you create as a child artist is amazing, and it lights the world on fire because it's different than what adults do, and it's different than what anyone else would ever think of. Look at this little character. He's got like a little bow tie, his little hands. This is amazing. So don't discard your work, and don't discard your genius and your brilliance, because you are all of those things. Like, don't you think he should be his own character comic strip? I want to know what his life is about. And look at his eye. So cool. Children make the most amazing art, and you are a great example of that. So thanks for being here. Let's do like a little demonstration of drawing noses, and then a video of Georgia O'Keeffe. All right, see you soon. Okay, so this is what our workbook for the week looks like with the colors. And here's what happens when you take burnt sienna, which again is right here in your paint box. When you mix it with a little bit of black, goes like a dark brown. With white, it gets kind of peachy, and this is how you get into your skin colors, which are really fun. With blue, it kind of goes like this ash color, which is amazing. With yellow, it pops and brightens, and with red, it almost goes a terracotta color. So anyway, that is super fun, and I want to show you this too. So here's a picture of Georgia O'Keeffe. You'll be watching her video, and here's the workbook page on noses. You'll have a piece of tracing paper. And then on these faces, I want you to draw on any nose that you'd like. Okay, so that's the workbook for the week. And let's take a minute and draw some noses. So, you know, we've got like the side of the nose here, and then this little thing here. And I know it looks so incredibly weird once you start putting it on paper. But you know, you've got your nostrils, which are kind of like these dark spaces, either side of the front of the nose. Okay, so that's very simple. And remember, we have our eyes up here in the middle of the head. But there's other ways to draw noses as well. Like you could see one from the side, and here's the big nostril. Okay. You know, it'll be interesting. I hope this week you'll start to look at people's noses, right? And there should be like a little something back here too. And then underneath would be a mouth. So front nose, side nose. And then you can just even do things like this that indicate a nose. If you're doing a comic strip, just with little nostrils on either side. Or maybe you just want to do like a little thing here, which looks like almost like a smiley face. But that could indicate, maybe I'll make these a little bit bigger. Okay. That could indicate a nose as well. So play around with the workbook, and again, look at that nose. Isn't that amazing? It's so authentic. So have some fun playing with noses, and let's look at the work of Georgia O'Keeffe. Thank you so much, children. Have a beautiful day.
The first year I was out here, because there were no flowers, I began picking up bones. Well, I wanted to take something home. I wanted to take something home to work on. I had a whole pile in the patio there. I wasn't painting them right then, but I had to get them first. when it was time to go home, I felt I hadn't started on the country. And I wondered what I could take home that I could continue what I felt about the country. And I couldn't think of anything to take home but a barrel of bones. So when I got home with my barrel of bones to Lake George, I stayed up there quite a while that fall and painted. That's where I began, that's where I painted my first skulls, from this barrel of bone. And first I painted a horse's head. And then I got this cow's head. And I had the cow's head painted against the blue. And I thought, well, I have to do something else about that. And that was at the time that the men were all talking about the great American novel, the great American play, the great American... Oh, it was the great American everything. And I thought they didn't know anything about America. A lot of them had never been across the Hudson. So I thought, I'll make my picture a red, white, and blue. I'll make it an American painting for these people that don't go across the Hudson. And this was my painting. I put a red stripe down each side. It entertained me, but I don't think anybody else caught on to it for quite a while. Another thing I collected was artificial flowers that they had in all the little country stores. Poor artificial flowers, but sometimes they were very pretty. The bones do not symbolize death to me. They are shapes that I enjoy. It never occurs to me that they have anything to do with death. They are very lively.
No, George O'Keeffe denies that it has anything to do with death. She does not associate it with death. For instance, that pelvis series of the bones she found on the desert, she holds them up and then sees the mountain through the hole in the bone, so that she goes through this into nature. You can take it as a symbol of a sort of concrete immortality in these things too, that they outlast death itself.
They please me. And I have enjoyed them very much in relation to the sky. And after a while I thought it's very easy to always be having a bone with a blue hole in it. I'd better make it another color. So I had a reddish bone with a yellow sky. That wasn't too bad either.
Where do you suppose you got the idea of being an artist?
I haven't the faintest idea. I often think about it and wonder, but I had it in my head when I was, well, I couldn't have been 12 when I had that idea.
You had what idea?
That I wanted to be a painter. I was going to be a painter.
That's it for this week. See you in class. Bye-bye.